Notes. Oh, look, we're already streaming live. I get with these two beautiful ladies and I just like get a little lost, but I know that we have great plans for everybody today. So start the sharing. I'm sure that the Keep Me Safe Organics people are just excited. We're going to open let me open my chat because I didn't even do that.
Lillian,
yes.
The restream show is still offline. Whenever you started, it didn't change to online.
It said that we were live. Okay, so let me see.
Yep. You know what? I'm looking at Facebook and you're live on Facebook.
Okay.
So, Restream is showing as offline. It's not good.
Okay. Well, do you want to reset it? Restart
Well,
it?
what I'm concerned about is you went directly to Facebook instead of a Restream, so you're not going to be live on YouTube.
Maybe I started it incorrectly.
Yeah.
No, it says YouTube says live.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
So we're good.
Yep, I see you there too. Okay. Just
okay.
Weird. Thanks.
Oh.
love you, Robert. Yes.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
We are ready. Okay. So now that we know that we're live on Restream and we're live on Facebook and YouTube, I need all of you teachers' pets to start sharing, inviting, because we're going to be talking about all the chemicals. Oh, let me hit the record button now, because this is what happens when you guys get the bird's eye view of what is behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. So today we're going to be talking with Kelly and Rebecca, the boss babes of Keep Me Safe Organics, and Lily Rose, for those of you who are interested in retail. We're going to be talking about all the chemicals that we put on our body that are FDA approved and that are very toxic for us with these wonderful ladies. So fasten your seatbelts because we're going to learn and grow together. It is time to dance. Here we go.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening and viewing friends. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are tuning into the classroom for the first time, please know we've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, so many of us trust labels. And yesterday we learned that if you read that it doesn't have trans fats on the label, and you scroll down and you see any kind of oil like cottonseed oil or anything, it does have trans fats. How did they get past this? I don't understand how we can even be duped in the labels. So it's very important that we educate ourselves with the names of the chemicals and perhaps maybe the other names they use. Yes, it may not be sugar, but it might be a sweetener, or it might be, beets, or it might be whatever. We have got to educate. And who else other than Kelli Bono and Rebecca Black, the boss babes of Keep Me Safe Organics, and Lily Rose, because we are going to talk about buyers beware. We're going to talk about all the ingredients that are approved to go on our skin that are causing us to get sick. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful to Kelly and Rebecca because they're here to do just that. Welcome, ladies, to the classroom.
Welcome. We're so excited to be here.
As always, so am I. Okay, so I'm going to just say this right off the bat that we are planning on a makeover on September 19th. That is going to be the giveaway for anyone who has purchased their cleansing line and is on the fence for the products. We're going to be sending you guys just enough product to do a makeover with all of us on a Saturday, September 19th at 11 a.m. Why 11 a.m.? Because we want to make sure that the West Coast can join us, and you'll put on your makeup and you'll be set for the day and you'll get to try it on. So make sure you text me if you're interested at 407-373-5959. Okay, ladies. So let's start with Rebecca, because although I call you the chemist, I know you're not the chemist, but you have done the research. You're the one that is the expert when it comes to chemicals. So share a little bit about how you got started in this kind of curiosity.
Well, it really just started like, you start seeing people get sick. And for me, that was my clients. And, everybody seemed to have a thyroid issue or trouble getting pregnant, or, we're going to get mammograms, but they don't want me wearing deodorant. And so it's like, well, why are we doing all those things with this stuff and our skin? And so I just started, researching, and it started with the aluminum in the deodorant, which actually clogs the lymph nodes. I don't know if any of you are aware, but your largest concentration of lymph nodes is right up here in your armpit area around your breasts. And so whenever you're putting aluminum in there, it is a metal that bioaccumulates, meaning it sticks with you. And so it is blocking your body's natural ability to remove itself from toxins. And that's what the lymph nodes do. They're the filters of the body, and almost like our first line of defense against everything that is happening. And so I just started researching. I mean, truly, that is what it started for me as. It's just researching, like, well, why does this happen? How does this happen? And Kelly has a beautiful story about one of the practitioners that she has worked with, that told her that disease was so simple. More toxins come into the body than your body can safely eliminate, and disease will shortly follow. Mm-hmm. And the problem is we just don't think that our lotions, our shampoos, our makeup, we just don't think that any of those things, what we're washing our body with, contain any of the bad things for you, because they don't make you feel bad. They don't give you an immediate reaction, but it's that constant use over time. And that's why so many companies are now going to the paraben-free movement. They'll still put some parabens in, but let's not put like the one or two main ones in, and it'll be okay. And, parabens, they accumulate in your breast tissue cells, and males and females have breast tissue. So it can accumulate in both males and females, and it has been linked to breast cancer. And so it's little pieces of information like that we're not always given. And so it's up to people like us to spread the word, and on this beautiful platform with our listening audience, to let them know that, hey, this is happening. We do need to be on the lookout, but you know what? We have a solution for you. You can have safe and effective products.
Absolutely. And, I want to clear a myth, because yesterday we talked about the myths on cholesterol. Mm-hmm. There are a lot. And there's another myth that men do not get breast cancer. That's a myth. Men get breast cancer as well. So let's shift a little bit with Kelly, because Kelly, you basically kind of stumbled upon this by force.
Yes. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, about 10 years ago, May 2nd, my dad died of cancer. And that really almost felt like a piece of the pie just got ripped out. And he was 68 years old. And I remember him in the hospital just saying, I want to make it to my 69th birthday. And that didn't quite happen. And so what just really resonated with me was on this quest of, why do some people get sick and others don't? Why are some people healthy? Why is it some people can smoke their whole life and live to be 110 and have all these horrible habits? And as Rebecca was saying, I stumbled upon this nutrition guru, and he said it was so simple. And I was thinking my daddy's death was not simple. That was anything but simple. That was personal. It was raw. It was emotional. And my dad went pretty quick. They diagnosed him, and within 3 months, he was gone. So it was just something that happened pretty quick. But he said, Kelli, all disease is simple. And I'm thinking, like, if anyone's ever struggled with anyone that has disease, it's not simple. It's like, once you get it, you're spending your whole life like fighting every resource. Sorry, I'm in my daughter's bedroom. Every resource, like trying to get rid of it. And he just said, Kelli, more chemicals come into the body than the body can safely eliminate. Disease will shortly follow. He said it's like A plus B equals C, or 1 plus 2 equals 3. It's so simple. And he goes, and the missing factor from all of us is we don't know how many chemicals each and every one of us can eliminate. We're all different. We're all unique. So the person that's smoking and living to 110, they may be able to eliminate hundreds of chemicals a day and be fine. Somebody else that's pretty healthy, all of a sudden, they start to eat a little bit of junk, or they eat this, and all of a sudden now they're putting on weight like crazy. All of a sudden their thyroid's off, and it's because their elimination of chemicals is not so great. So that's the missing X factor, that I can't tell you your number. You can't tell me my number. I don't know Rebecca's number. We don't even know our own number. That's the missing X factor. But more chemicals come into the body than the body can safely eliminate. And you eliminate them through your largest organ, skin, sweat. That's why sweating's so good for you. Urination, and going poop. So if those are all
the 3 Ps, pee, poop, and perspiration. Yes.
Yes. I love it. So for me, once I learned that, it really started me on the mission. And I didn't find that out till probably about 7 years after my dad passed away. But that really started me in truly, like, really understanding the desperate need to make sure that what we put on our skin is safe, what's in our home are safe, what we've got in the refrigerator is safe. Those are really the only things we can control. Like, we can't control what's going on in the world right now. We can't control what's going on outside of our homes, but the home should be a safe place that that your children, are actually, not like, being like hugely overwhelmed by chemical burden. So that's our mission. And God gave me a dream one day to say that I was supposed to open up a company called Keep Me Safe. And it was to help women, really like get their homes clean, and also to be able to help women financially, earn financial freedom.
Very good. And you guys are doing a phenomenal job as well. And so I want to add to what you just said, Kelli, that health is simple, but disease is very complex, because now you're trying to undo the years of damage, but it can be done. I mean, it's as simple as that as well. Because if you are, let's say, for example, we were talking about using DNA testing as prevention, because you can turn on the DNA and you can turn off the DNA by the way you live your life, by the way. And so if you want to eliminate disease, if you use that same model, take in more good than you're putting in your body, and so that you can release the bad. It's no different than, okay, I've got a tub full of water and mud. I'm going to keep the water coming in, but I'm not going to unclog the tub. The moment you unclog the tub and allow all that, and you keep putting the clean water in, that tub will clear up. And it can be simple, but we make it complicated because we're fighting against ourselves. I see you nodding your head, Rebecca. Do you want to add to that? Oh, you're muted.
That is 100% true, what you just said right there. You're almost like a water bucket. And if you don't have holes in the bottom for some of that old water to come out, it just keeps accumulating. And you may be putting good stuff in and on, but you're not getting rid of the core problem.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the core problem, because you have about 10 items to avoid. You have them here, and you give this with every purchase that comes from the Keep Me Safe Organics beauty bar.
Mhm.
And so let's talk about some of the things that we need to look at and perhaps maybe different names. And by the way, Rebecca wrote an article back in 2008 in May that has to do with these, I think there were 5 harmful. There's 10 of them here. And she also gives you different names, just like I said, no trans fats, 0 trans fats. But if you look at the ingredients, and there's cottonseed oil, there's canola oil, there's, corn oil, that that has trans fat. So I don't know how they can get away with the labeling, but they do. So just like that, Rebecca, I know that there are a lot of ingredients that have been banned in Europe but are still very much alive and well in the United States. Can you share a little bit about how that could be?
Yeah. So in the European Union, they have over 1,300 ingredients that they either ban or highly, highly restrict. Like you're only allowed to put like a drop of these in there. The United States only has 30. So when your products are manufactured here in the United States, you're allowed to put a whole heck of a lot more stuff that's in there, And just like you said with the no trans fat, something can say that it's paraben free, but when you turn over and you look at the ingredient list, it still has glycols or it still has siloxanes, which are synthetic plastics essentially that your body doesn't know how to handle, and it doesn't know how to eliminate. So you're putting those lotions on, you're putting those creams on, you're putting that makeup on, and you can't understand why over a long term you're putting this stuff on and it should be helping my skin, right? But long term it's not, and it's actually getting worse. And that is because of, it might have been paraben free, but it wasn't synthetic free, it wasn't glycol free, it still had PEGs in it, it still had fragrance in it, it still had formaldehyde releasing agents in it. And so we comply, every single one of our products comply with the European standards for manufacturing regulation. We do not use anything that you cannot use in the European nations.
Okay, so Kelli, is there anything you want to add to that?
What I love what Rebecca said is that, at the end of the day, you got to think with labels. And I learned this pretty quick because I was just so outraged, because how is it possible that really what, is over the counter is really causing so much disease? Yeah. And how is that just okay? And what I really found out in marketing, that 15, not 50, but 15% has to have a natural ingredient. Like if 85% is toxic and 15% is natural, they can label all natural. They can put the birds and the green, and we're so healthy and safe and natural. They could put 100% natural. I mean, it's really insane what they can do with marketing, as long as 15% is a natural ingredient. That is a very scary place that we are in today, when that is the truth in labeling. So as you were saying at the beginning, the labels, we have got to be where we are turning bottles over and reading. Because if we're not going to be doing that, then all of a sudden when we get the diagnosis or we get the earth-shattering crisis that's happening and we've never understood, and now we're reading these pamphlets, right? Because now all of a sudden we're engaged and we're reading. All of a sudden now it's like, oh my gosh, that could have been so preventative, right? But we don't know because no one's turning it over. We're looking at a few buzzwords: no parabens, no sulfates, no this, but then you turn it over and it's a whole nother chemical cocktail of just straight cancer causing ingredients. And you're like, okay, so they've labeled it this, they've taken out a few buzzwords, and now I turn it over. And, at the end of the day, it's like, what part of a little bit of a cancer causing ingredient is really safe for me or my children or my daddy or my mom or you or a friend? What part of that is safe? So it's just really scary about what's happening in the world. And we think we're making better choices. We feel great. One of the biggest things that was like an aha moment for me was when I found out that Burt's Bee is bought by Clorox. So when you're understanding that here, the number one chemical company in the world is owning one of the number one natural brands in the world, And it's like, oh my gosh, this is just about the almighty dollar. Has nothing to do with my family's health, has nothing to do with safety. There's no passion behind the cause. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really like giving all my money to some corporation that is also leading the world in the world's disease. Like, what's happening here? And it really gives you this almost, I don't want to say like a righteous anger, but it just gives you this, like, someone's got to stand up. Someone's got to do something. We've got to be passionate. We've got to be passionate about our children, what comes into the homes. And that's the really only thing in all of this that we can control. So a lot of people are, you know, feeling out of control. It's like, this is the one thing that you can control. And once your home starts to get safe, there's just this feeling of like, oh my gosh, you know, like, I can't control what goes out there, but I can control what's in my home. And I can control that every day my little kids aren't washing me with these harsh chemicals that are actually going into their bloodstream, because whatever you put on your skin, your largest organ, within 26 seconds gets absorbed into the bloodstream. Like, I can change all that. I can make a cause for good. I can be a force for good. And so when that starts to happen, oh my gosh, I'm getting chills, but you get so excited and you feel like I'm making such a difference. I'm changing lives. And so it's just so powerful.
So absolutely. So what I'm hearing you say is that parabens is attached to synthetics. So it can be any. So what we need to look for in the label would be not just paraben free, but also synthetic free.
Mm-hmm. And you know,
that fair?
That is fair. It is fair.
Okay, I went through your edit package there.
Yeah.
Because I know that Keep Me Safe Organics, Lily Rose makes that is your commitment, no synthetics.
Yes, it is. And yes.
Not just paraben free.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't
so
think you're ever going to see synthetic free on a label, though. I think is where my mind was kind of tracking. I don't think you're ever going to see synthetic free on a label.
But that is so okay. So you mentioned different names for parabens as well. Mm-hmm. And these are hormones that can cause cancer.
Yes. So there was a study done by Cornell University in 2011, and that report, it showed that ongoing exposure, so daily use, multiple products that you're using on a daily basis, can increase the risk of breast cancer, because those parabens bioaccumulate over time. Your body doesn't know how to release them. They stay inside of your fat cells, including your breast tissue. Mm. And so those parabens, they get stuck inside of your fatty tissue, and breasts are fatty tissue.
Wow. Okay. So the next thing on your list is mineral oils. So when I think of minerals, I think of the mineral foundation. And I think of something mineral as healthy, but you're saying no, that this is not what they're talking about, right?
Yep. I'm going to let Kelly take that one away because she's the mineral oil expert queen.
So listen, Lillian, when I hear mineral oil, that's what you think of.
Yeah.
But mineral oil comes from the petroleum industry.
Wow.
And let me just tell you, this is the sludge that they will not even put into your gas tank. What happens is that the byproduct that's left over, that's not even good enough to go into your car, they are distilling it 6 to 7 times to get it to come out to this clear liquid. And that clear liquid is now called mineral oil. It's sold back to all these companies for pennies on the dollar. So now all of a sudden here, what you got going into your, like you would never, ever, ever, ever pull up to a gas station and say, I'm just going to get my daily dose of petroleum. You know, if you did that, it's only a matter of time before you got a major, major, major problem, major disease, major chemical, major something going on with your body, right? Mm. But every single day it's in our lotion, the stuff that wasn't even good enough to hose ourselves down with, right? It's not even good enough to go into your car. It's the byproduct. And so when you hear mineral oil, as beautiful as that sounds, stay clear. That is straight from the petroleum industry. It is not good for your skin. It's not good for your body. There's not one thing about it that's healthy. And we are slathering it all over ourselves and especially babies. So you got to think right from the get-go, we're setting up our children to live a life that's not healthy. We're setting them up for disease, right? As the first
diabolical plan. It's a diabolical plan. I just, the more I learn about what's going on out there, the more I realize that the devil is the ruler of this earth, because even though we are protected by God, but there's a lot of evil out there. And for anyone to do that, and approve it as it's okay. So what is the difference between mineral oil and minerals for the foundation?
So the minerals are the raw form of those minerals. It's essentially like ground up rocks that you can go and find out in nature. So that is the difference between minerals and mineral oil. Mineral oil, like Kelly said, is a byproduct of the petroleum industry. What your gasoline is made of. It's what's left over after it's not good enough to be in your car, but it's good enough. Let me just keep processing it and put it through another process with more harsh chemicals, more harsh chemicals, more harsh chemicals to make it clear, to make it this beautiful thing that we love to put in a lot of our lip products, ladies. We love to put it in a lot of liquid foundations, a lot of cream to powder blushes, eyeshadows. It goes into a lot of products. So you can't confuse the raw mineral itself, which is the coloring agent, with the byproduct of the petroleum industry, which is mineral oil.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So, with that in mind, there are so many things that we can't even pronounce. And I've heard that if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't put it on your skin. So any feedback on that? Kelly, you're doing the little X mark, but you're muted. So there you go.
Well, I was just going to say real quick about the minerals. So what's so beautiful about our minerals in makeup, true minerals that come from earth, come from God's creation, because we don't add binders or fillers or chemicals to them, our minerals last a lifetime. Like they don't ever expire. So unlike like Bare Minerals and all these other companies that are pushing their natural minerals on you, they're throwing in chemicals like bismuth oxychloride. It's just this nasty filler ingredient, but it makes it expire. It makes it turns rancid. So all of a sudden your mineral makeup that should be so pure and from the earth that doesn't ever expire. Like think about you buying a mineral that's good 30 years from now. As long as the packaging's still intact, the mineral inside is still good. That's not happening when you buy from all these companies that claim that they're natural. They're throwing chemicals in there because they know in their wallet, their pockets, doesn't expand when you can buy a foundation that's good for 20 years. They want it gone in 6 months. They want it gone in less than a year because they need you to rebuy and be throwing things out. So what I love with Keep Me Safe, we're quite the opposite of the world. Our products like lotions and stuff expire between 1 to 2 to 3 years at most. And then all of a sudden our minerals that everyone else has expire within 6 months to a year. Our minerals last a lifetime. And so I love it. I love it. I love it. So it's such a beautiful shift than what the world's giving us.
Yeah. And I want to remind everybody that we are going to have a makeover. They're part of the Million Makeover movement to keep you safe. And so today, for those of you who have already bought cleansers for Keep Me Safe Organics, the skincare line, we're going to do something because we already did a skincare line makeover. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of women join us, and we even did a foot soak after that with some other people too. But we're going to be including the different makeups like eyeshadow. Also, we're going to include a foundation. You can just say what skin tone you are, more or less, and blush. And so they're going to send you little packages so that on September 19th, we have a makeover, a virtual makeover. And this is, well, it's worldwide, but for the places that you can, probably nationwide actually, because we need to be able to send it to you if you haven't purchased anything. And even if you've purchased the makeup, because I know many of you have already purchased the makeup, I want to encourage you to also join us because we're going to get lots of extra tips, especially now that the holiday season is going to be, can you believe it? The holiday season is almost around the corner. And so we're going to do this on a Saturday at 11, the 19th, but you need to text me at 407-373-5959 if you want to be a part of this makeover movement that we're going to do, the virtual makeover. And you send me your address and we'll send you, let me know what kind of skin tone you have. Maybe you can send me a picture of yourself. There you go, of your face. And then we'll match you as close as possible, and then we'll send it to you. So I'm excited about this, but you've got to act now because we want to make sure that everybody gets what they need way ahead of time. So the deadline for that is September 13th. Anything after that, you may or may not get it. So we want you to enjoy all the products. And we want to encourage all of you who have purchased the beauty line, the skincare line, because some of the products that you use, you can mix with the minerals so that you can make it even a better application. Okay, so with that, I'm going to move on to the next. Which is PEG. And I skipped through the methyl because I couldn't pronounce it. So if anybody wants to pronounce that one. Did you read it?
No, it's a little blurry for me, but we can skip to the next.
It's methylchloroscisozoline. If you can't pronounce it, don't put it on your body, period. But PEG, we can. Let's talk about PEG and TEA and 1,4 dioxane. What's that?
Yeah. So 1,4 dioxane is it is a byproduct that the EPA has established as likely to be carcinogenic to humans.
Nobody cares to check it out. Likely.
It's likely. When you look at the MSDS, the material safety data sheet for this particular raw ingredient, it says that it is harmful if inhaled or swallowed or absorbed through the skin, and that it can cause reproductive damage. But here's the crazy thing. Japan has banned the use of any 1,4-dioxane as a byproduct in any of its ingredients. In the country of Japan, they will not allow it at all in you can't use it in the manufacture of any of your products. You know, and you see like phenoxyethanol is a very common preservative in a lot of products, especially in your natural world that is not so natural. And it can be laced with that 1,4-dioxane. To get the phenoxyethanol, they may have likely used the 1,4-dioxane to get that preservative. So just like Kelly said, you know, it lasts really long on the shelf. You know, the stores can keep it on their shelves for 3 to 5 years. They don't have to move that product for 3 to 5 years. It's okay. It's got the phenoxyethanol in there, but as soon as you open it, they want it to go bad within 6 months. So the air hits it and then it changes chemical structure again.
Amazing. Kelly, is there anything you want to add about that one? Or what are some of the other names that we will see, or where do they put this on?
You'll actually never see 1,4-dioxane on an ingredient label. You will see the end product, such as the ones that are listed there on your ingredients to avoid. You will see phenoxyethanol. Some of your parabens also have this in them. So you will never see 1,4-dioxane, but it is the reason why we don't use the ingredients that we don't use.
Wow. So it's not, they don't have to label it. No. They can just put it in there.
Yeah, because it can be a byproduct. It's like, so you can take your water and you can add salt to it. It's still water. Does that make sense? So I don't have to tell you that I added the salt to it. It's just water.
The labeling practices need to change. They really do, because I just purchased, I was in a hurry and I saw no GMO, all natural broth. And so I bought it. This is before I was making my broths. Mm-hmm. And I bought it, and then it said no GMO and it was supposed to be organic. And then when I was pouring into the soup, I read no GMOs added. It said added.
Mhm.
And I thought, added? Why would they go out of their way to say added? So I called the manufacturer, and the manufacturer said it may have corn. Well, is the corn non-GMO corn? Well, we can't claim that. We don't even have to write it on there because corn is not something that people are allergic to normally. And so they, by law, don't have to claim it.
Mhm.
So they do have GMOs through that corn, but they don't even have to write that they put corn in it. We've got to wake up. This is so important, such an important conversation. Okay, so Kelly, is there anything you want to add about that before we move on?
Well, even just with the no GMOs added, I'm sure the added was very small. So the non-GMO, because then you all of a sudden you feel good about your buy. Once again, it's a label.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, many people have allergies to corn, as we know, celiacs, all kind of diseases right now. All kids are having all kind of reactions and all kind of sensitivities to what we know is corn. So the fact that they're saying, you know, it's not an issue. We know that many kids are having learning disabilities over the fact that what they're putting, the chemicals that they're putting on their body, and corn is a big one. So just interesting to see how in that little box you think you're doing good. We all think we're doing good. And then when you read the fine print, you're like, oh my gosh, I have been doped.
Yeah. Okay, so what about sodium laureth or laureth sulfate?
Yes. Okay. So read right is what is on your card right there, Lillian.
It says skin damage or reaction, toxic contaminant found in shampoo, hair detanglers, body sprays, lotions, and liquid soap.
Yep. So whenever you go into your shower and you have a lot of your liquid soaps, one of the first or second ingredients is SLS, sodium laureth sulfate. And it is a known toxin. It is a known toxin. And so whenever you see people who will say, you know, like sulfate free, that's what they mean. Like that it has that sulfate. Now they may have another derivative of it. Again, it's the labeling. It's what you don't see. But anytime you see the word sulfate, it's what makes it the product kind of like stick together, and it's what makes it super, super lathery. And it is a known toxin and can cause skin irritation. So whenever you're washing with something, or you're putting a lotion on and you're doing a hand soap and your hands just get drier and drier and drier and drier and drier and drier and drier, it is likely because you have those skin stripping agents. Your body is like, get this off of me. Let me just shed my skin and let me just put new skin out here. So hopefully you'll stop rubbing that mess on me. That's your body's first line of defense, you know, that skin. And when your skin starts reacting, it lets you know that something is going on. You've been exposed to a fungus, a bacteria, a virus. You've been exposed to harsh chemicals that are stripping your skin of its natural moisture. And almost every supermarket product that you are buying is causing this. And they leave it up to you, the consumer, to turn those labels over and read them. They know that you can put the non-GMO on the front and say no GMOs added, and they think that you're just supposed to know that means, well, every vegetable that went in that broth, every piece of meat that went in that broth, the animals and the plants were exposed to GMOs the entire time of process. But we're so proud of ourselves. We didn't add any extras in there.
I know, we are so lucky. I was so upset. I stopped doing that. But anyway, so because I love the body bars. Keep Me Safe Organics has the most incredible body bars. I can use it from my face all the way to my toes. I mean, and I don't have any problems with dry skin. What do you guys use? Because we're addicted to the foam. We think that it has to foam. And that foam is the same thing that that sodium lauryl sulfate, or that SLS, is what they use to degrease when the Exxon Valdez oil spill, they use that to degrease all the animals that had the oil on them. Yes. So we're using this degreaser on our body. and it's causing premature aging, toxicity. So what are you guys using to create some of that foaminess that we still get with the Body Bar?
Yes. So we use 85%. That is an 85% organic oil-based soap, Body Bar. And that's why your skin feels so soft and so silky in that. And then we just use the organic essential oils and leftover parts of it, like one of our newest soaps, the sweet citrus. You know, it has that beautiful blood orange essential oil in there with the lavender. So it's the most beautiful blend. And so we use products from nature as they were intended to clean. And you notice whenever you make a switch over to our Body Bars, you don't have that extremely dry, itchy skin when you get out of the shower, and you don't have to use as much lotion as you used to have to.
It's amazing. So what are we supposed to look for if not sodium lauryl? What if it has if it's a shampoo? I mean, it's in all our body products, our dishwashing detergents, all of that. What do we look for? What could they call it differently that it's still the same thing?
So it's sodium lauryl sulfate, ETH, sodium lauryl sulfates. You'll see like the sulfonamides and those kinds of things. So just sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate.
What about sodium cocoa somethings? I've seen other things that don't have the lauryl sulfate after that. I'll see the sodium, but not the lauryl.
Yeah.
What do we look for?
Our products.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because listen, there's like 100 different chemical names, and yeah, just look for our products. We've done the research for you.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to make sure that people look at what they have now. And if they see any variation of that, they know that they're putting something toxic on their skin and their babies. Their babies. I was giving a bath to one of my grandchildren, and some of the Johnson & Johnson baby stuff that has that chemical in there. So I went out and I bought my own stuff that doesn't have it, but I didn't know if what I got, this was way, because my grandbabies are getting older now. This is way before I met you guys, but I bought something that it didn't have that, but I just didn't know if it was a variation or a renaming of the same thing, which they did with the BPA, and they got all the BPAs out and they renamed BPA to BPB.
Lillian, speaking of Johnson & Johnson, when it says no more tears, it's actually a chemical that sits on their tear ducts that does not let the children cry.
It's a numbing agent.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to wake up. We just need to wake up, something like this. And I just want to take a little break because I do want to encourage everybody to go to whenyounneedafriend.com. Please become a subscriber. Not only become a subscriber, but like and follow me on social media and all the different ways to get in touch with me. BitChute and YouTube. You can subscribe on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. Please like and follow so that we can get this last minute, which you know what's going on in the classroom. And so while you're there, please scroll down and click onto my sponsors page. My sponsors without my sponsors, there would be no classroom. And I'm really excited about the sponsors that I have. Primarily Keep Me Safe Organics. We are doing a makeover. So just let me know that you want to be a part of the makeover on the 19th. Send me a text all the way up to the 13th. We can send product to you. Send me a picture of your face. We'll try to match the colors that will work for you. And we'll do a virtual makeover. It's going to be so much fun because these women are fun, and we all have we laugh so much that we're going to probably you'll get to see the power of these cosmetics because you won't have the wrinkles to show for it because it will just make your skin look radiant. And we're going to do it on a Saturday at 11, so that when you are getting ready for the evening, you'll already be made up and you'll be safe with everything that's on there. So that would be September 19th. So please make sure that you reach out. And if you decide you want to purchase your own product, if you enter Lily 10, go to my website, enter Lily 10, and you get 10% off your entire purchase. We have First Alternative Care, which, by the way, Kelly she just like became the new First Alternative Care telemedicine. You get family practice, dermatology, and 3 hours a year of behavioral health counseling. That's unlimited family practice, unlimited dermatology for the entire household. Plus you have the bonus of the portal, which is the bomb. You'll have that as well for $19.99 because of the volume of the Lillian McDermott Radio Show Classroom, from $45, which is unbelievably inexpensive, all the way to $19.99. So take advantage of it. Especially if you have a family up to 9 people that you can enter on there. It's just unbelievable. We also have the pharmacy from Merritt Island, turning your pills into topicals, and Live Longer Medical, making you as beautiful on the inside as out. And of course, we have Ground Therapy, which both these ladies love, and Brain Tap, which I know Kelly is like my superhero Brain Tap girl. And also microcurrent technology, which has helped manage me from my pain with that I had from the car accident, 4 herniated discs. So most people can't believe it, but when you change the way you look at things, you will find things differently. And so I want to encourage you to support my sponsors the way that they're supporting the classroom. And also you can become an enrolled student. What does that mean? You can donate your time, your talent, or treasure. If you have $1 or $1,000 a month that you want to donate, feel free to do so. You all are welcome. So today we are talking with Keep Me Safe Organics, the Boss Babes. We're talking about all the chemicals. So I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. So Rebecca, if you'd like to share anything about if you'd like to share anything that we haven't gone over yet regarding these chemicals. And you're muted.
The biggest thing that I would leave each and every one of you with is to really start buying from someone that you trust, that has done the research for you. If you know you're not going to be looking at the ingredients, but you know somebody who is, ask them, hey, what do you recommend for this? Reach out to Lillian, reach out to me, reach out to Kelly, reach out to any of our advocates, and we will be able to point you in the right direction. We have a huge family all across the United States. We're growing every single day. We welcomed 176 new customers and advocates last month. Such a huge, huge, huge number. And it is part of the Million Makeover movement for 1 million people across the United States to change just one thing they're putting on their skin on a daily basis. And it is such a mission of ours to get stricter label regulations, just like you mentioned earlier, Lillian, so that our customers don't have to be duped anymore by that no GMOs added. But hey, hopefully you won't notice those vegetables and the animals that we use to create that product. They already been fed GMOs. Yeah. So the truth in labeling, doing some refining, getting some stricter regulations on that. But if you know you're not going to be turning over those ingredient labels and you're not going to be looking, find someone who will do it for you, because you are worth it. Your health is worth it. Your family is worth it. And we're on a mission to help each and every one of you make a better decision about at least one thing you put on your skin on a daily basis.
Yes. And I want to encourage all of you, if you want a copy of this, I think I'm going to print it and put it underneath this broadcast, because it's so important that you do your own research. Don't believe a word we say, do your own research and take your ownership. Before we go, I really want to talk about fragrances, because you'll see organic, you'll see so many different things like, oh gosh, organic, all natural. You'll see all these different things, but then you'll see fragrance at the end. Kelli, can you share why fragrance is such a big no-no?
Yeah, because usually most fragrances are linked to formaldehyde. Usually they're laced with all kind of stuff, and even phthalate-free fragrances have phthalates in them, and they also are hugely toxic. And so we're breathing that in, we're taking that in, that's going into our body, it's going into our lungs, it's going into our skin. So the other day we had someone message us, and she's like, okay, what are you fragranced with? And we're like, essential oils, like just pure essential oils from Mother Nature. And we do get a lot of our essential oils from Europe, because Europe doesn't lace them with stuff. In America, it's a hit or miss. I mean, a lot of times you can, try to like find a pure oil, only to find out the sourcing is not so pure. So we love essential oils, and God's given us some amazing scents. And so we don't want to mess up what God's given us. So a lot of times people say, oh, I love Bath and Body Works, and I love this and I love that. And it's like, yeah, but at what point are you loving, disease and harm and neurotoxins? Think about it, even the shampoos and stuff, and they smell good. And that's a lot of times what lures you in is just the smell. And everyone's like, oh my God, it smells so yummy. Yeah, but at what part of formaldehyde?
The cost, yeah.
What part of formaldehyde is good for you? What part of any kind of thing that's going to cause you a neurological disorder? Think about it. The world right now is filled with anxiety, depression, anger, rage. Every time you lather up, that is going straight into your brain, all the lauryl sulfates, all the chemicals. And then you think that's not going to mess with how you feel, right? So we have a saying, just get it out. And once you get to that simple life, just where there's no chemicals, your budget, oh my gosh, let me just tell you, I'm saving hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course, because now I'm not I don't have to buy everything, because I know my buying power is now I only have to buy certain products because they're multifunctional. My liquid hand pump is also a great shampoo. Our body soaps, I don't even need to put lotion on anymore, because our body soap does it. It's I just don't need to carry. If you had told me 10 years ago there's going to be a place where your skin is soft like a baby and you don't have to use lotion, I would have said, you are crazy. What are you smoking? There's no way I had alligator skin. So just think that you can really heal the body, and all of a sudden the body just starts to glow and look great, and you don't need all these synthetics. And when you get the synthetics out, watch the way that you look, watch the way that you feel. All of a sudden you're going to be like Lillian. We're aging in reverse. We are aging in reverse. It is exciting to see. I feel I can go up against somebody that's had all the chemicals and the fillers and everything else, and I'm sitting here and it's we're aging in reverse. My skin's got a glow that you have to probably pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for, and it still ain't working for you, Yeah. So I love that you can take a natural product, and over time, what Rebecca said, over time, you're getting the chemicals out, and one product can cover a multitude of things. Yeah. So I just love that. I love that.
Thank you. And I appreciate that you guys are doing this. Now we're coming towards the end of the podcast. For those of you who listen on, I am so loving all of you on podcasts for the 5-star reviews that you're giving the class. So keep it going. Thank you so much. But you're also welcome to join us live if you choose to do that as well. We're always looking forward to hearing what you have to say. And those who are watching live, make sure that you ask your questions, type in a queue, ask your questions. Let us know if there is a void or a need or question that you have that we didn't cover. Before we go, Rebecca, Kelli just talked about the smell good, it feels so smooth on the skin, but that's a ploy no different than a Cheeto is a ploy to get us addicted right away. So talk about these chemicals that create needing it again and again.
Yeah, so they essentially they just strip out your moisture. And I'm going to share. I was at dinner with one of my dear friends last night, and she said, "Rebecca, I got the biggest compliment." One of her daughter's friends was like, "Mama D, what are you doing to your skin? It looks so good." Like, "Are you doing Botox, or, did you do fillers?" And she's like, "I've never done Botox. I've never done fillers. I'm almost 60 and my skin looks better than it ever has." And when you feed your skin versus whenever you have to continue to peel the layers off and you are putting stuff on that is making you drier and drier and drier and drier and drier, it's pulling all your moisture out. That's why babies have that beautiful, plump, firm skin, because they have lots of moisture in their cells. And that is what our products do. They support your body's natural ability to produce that moisture and that structure. And that's why we truly do age in reverse.
I'm in for that. Amen. And I'm in. So amen. And I'm in. Okay. So for those of you who want to be a part of our makeover, all you have to do is text me at 407-373-5959. Text me a picture of your face, and we'll try to match you as close as possible. I hope that's a good idea, Kelly, because we're going to be sending you a little bit of products so that you can join us and enjoy the makeover movement with Keep Me Safe Organics. Now, so make sure you get that done before September 13th. So do it right away. Do it now. Do it today. Mark your calendar, because we're going to have you dress up really nice on Saturday, the 19th, and go out with your special person that you want to be with. So I want to thank both of you. I do want to talk about this being an income opportunity for women and men who would like to become part of the advocacy team to bring this kind of good news to the world. So do we have a little bit of time for that? Okay, perfect. Well, thank you guys for being a part of today's class and for learning and growing with us. Please remember that we'll always be here waiting for you. Join us, like us, share us, and join us after the class for the Teacher's Pet Corner. Please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott, Kelli Bono, and Rebecca Black wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you for letting us know that this is great information. I want to encourage you to look beyond the information we get. There's much more that we didn't even go into. But we did talk about the formaldehydes and the, what about the glycolic? What about people that, I was just talking to someone that was saying that they purchased one of those skin where they like take the top layer of the skin, microdermabrasion. Rebecca, to remove your skin like that, is that good or not? Or should you rely on products that are natural, healthy to restore your skin?
So microdermabrasion, just like your natural fruit enzymes, they do that too. And I am a fan of exfoliation. So as we get older, what you notice with your skin is it is not as vibrant. It's a little more dull. It is drier. You have the fat loss, so your jaw will start sagging. You'll start getting crow's feet, a little bit of bagginess under the eyes.
Oh, this sounds horrible. Not with Keep Me Safe Organics.
Yeah. But you have to, your cellular process slows down. So when you think about little kids and even teenagers, they always have that glow. They're always glowing. Their skin is always shiny because their cellular turnover is so much faster. But as we get older, that natural process slows down. And when you do a microdermabrasion or a microcurrent, just like you were speaking of, you can do microcurrent treatments on the face to stimulate those muscles, to stimulate those cells, to stimulate the blood flow. Our mud mask, I've been doing it 3 times a week for the last month. That increases the oxygenation to the cells. It's essentially the same thing without the physical removal of the microderm abrasion. But I am a fan of exfoliating the skin and making sure that your newest, prettiest cells are always on the outside, because that is truly what gives each and every one of us that glow, the firm skin, the soft skin, the beautiful skin that is aging in reverse.
Okay, so when it comes to the mud, that Keep Me Safe Organics has, the exfoliation, you put it on your skin and you wipe it and it feels so nice. But now when you're actually ripping it out of your skin, or is there enough layers of your skin that you're going to damage your skin if you go even more? Because I know when I was younger, I did a lot of microdermabrasion, and I wonder if enough there, you're going to get to that point where enough is enough, where you just need to do it naturally to conserve your skin integrity. I don't know. I don't know if I've got it all wrong here, but I would think that we have so many tears, we have so many lashes, we have so many hair follicles. Do we have so many layers of skin?
Yes. So you actually have 7 whole layers of skin.
Okay. So only 7 for you.
Yep, there's 7 layers, and there are some things that you do that can take too many of those layers off, and then it creates a really thin skin. But those are some pretty heavy duty treatments. And I personally do not think that microdermabrasion is a bad thing at all. I'm a fan of it. Even the vacuum. The biggest question is what is being put on the skin before you did that microdermabrasion, and what's being put on the skin after you did that microdermabrasion, because you're essentially just removing that surface layer of cells so that your body can go into repair mode.
Okay.
And then when you feed your skin really good ingredients that will bring that glow back, then it takes that non-surgical procedure and it amps it up and puts it on steroids and gives you better results. And that's why people see such amazing results with our products, because they feed the skin. So it's like you've got brand new cells that haven't been exposed to those toxins yet. So let's feed them, let's nourish them, let's bring them back to how they're supposed to be, let's support them, let's boost that collagen. And that is where our skincare comes in. And that's where our body care comes in as well. You know, whenever you use a loofah in the shower and you are washing and you're using our soap before and or after that, that's why your skin feels so incredibly soft. And you'll know if what you're doing is too much or you're using too much pressure, if it is painful, if it is causing any abrasion to the skin. And we're talking about, like, if you're seeing any broken skin, any torn skin, any like little, if you're getting broken capillaries. You know, there was a brush system that I used to use, even using the gentle brush, and it gave me some broken capillaries in my cheeks.
Wow.
Yep. And it was the sensitive skin, but it was too much pressure for my skin. You know, just like Kelly said, you know, each person's number is different. You know, you may be able to take in 5 million toxins. I can only take in 2. Same thing with these topical devices. You may be able to use 5 pounds of pressure, but I'm only able to use a half of a pound. And so each person is truly, truly different. But if you're noticing that you're getting broken capillaries, which are the red little blood vessels right underneath the skin, if you're noticing that you're getting that, or if you notice that you are actually tearing the skin, creating some type of sore, some type of blister, some type of scaly patch, you're using too much pressure, or your practitioner is using too much pressure.
Very good. You know, the body will tell you what it needs.
Yeah.
But we just need to listen. Now, what I also love about Keep Me Safe Organics is that you guys have made a commitment to get women, men can do this too. So I just say women, but men can do this too, out of poverty and to have their own business. And Keep Me Safe Organics is the only company that I know of that for 1 penny, you can become a first level advocate. And that way you can buy your products for yourself. And then anyone who comes in and says, hey, where did you get that lip balm? Or where did you get your eyeshadow? You can send them to your own site and you get a percentage off. Would you like to share that, Kelly, about how you are committed? Also, both of you are committed to creating abundance for the home.
Yes. Yes. So unlike, stores where you walk in and it's, Target's getting all the commission or Walmart's getting all the commission and all these big corporations are just getting wealthier and wealthier, wealthier, where your dollars are flowing into them, they're getting wealthier and then those dollars never flow back to you. So what I love is instead of going and trying, because listen, we have, Rebecca and I have connections in some pretty big retailers. We have friends. Sorry, my battery's coming low. I got 20%. So we're good. We're good. Like we have ins and Whole Foods and stuff, but that's not the vision. We want to see women just like us, real women making real commissions off of having a beautiful product and something that they can feel good about. 10 years ago, me and my husband lived off $1,800. We were in poverty. And let me tell you what network marketing did for me. And I know there's sometimes people say it's, they don't have a good feeling with it, but let me just tell you, for me, it was something that I didn't have to be educated in. I didn't have to be a certain economic status. I didn't have to go to school and get a degree. I didn't have to have any background. It's no respecter of person. I was able to
although you have a master's degree.
I do. I have a master's degree.
But not in this.
Not in this.
Yeah.
But what I love is I was able to take my family out of poverty and into private school. And literally our lives changed from drastically. And here's what I love about network marketing. So you can kind of hear it from me is at the end of the day, no one can tell you your worth. No one. And a lot of times people don't realize when you are going to a job, you are being told when you can eat, when you can sleep, when you can take your breaks, when you can have dinner with your family, when you can have sleep. I mean, basically like if you think about 40 hours a week being dictated on your entire life. And we're waiting. Many of you are sitting there waiting and hoping that a phone call doesn't say that you're no longer needed, right? And the fear and the anxiety that goes along with that. And this is what I love is nobody can ever tell you what you're worth. You make 30% of everything you sell every time you sell it, right? At the end of the day, you get just like, think about it like this. If Lillian buys my product from me, I'm making 30%, not just for the initial sale, but for the 10, 20, 30 years that Lillian's using my product. We know that when women get on good skincare, they're usually on that skincare for about 20 years. I know people that are they're with Clinique because they were with Clinique when they were 15.
Horrible. Yeah.
Yes. But and I say, is that working for you? And they're like, no, but I just don't know anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else. So when you think about it, you're making that 30%. Like I talked to Lillian one time about a product. All of a sudden now Lillian every 3 months is buying from me and I'm making that 30% every single time. That's exciting. You can't find that in the car business. You can't find that in the cell phone business. You can't find that in any retail sales business. So this is truly the residual income that keeps on going. Then also what's beautiful is the leverage, right? All of a sudden say, I want to help Lillian get started. And Lillian has 4 or 5 friends. Now I'm making a small percentage. You're not making, a huge percentage that anyone's, going broke, but you're making a small percentage because I help Lillian. Lillian goes and helps I get a piece of that pie wherever that leg goes. And it's a small piece. It's not like thousands of dollars, but my work with Lillian goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And when you think about it like that, it is truly, we have residual bills. We need residual income. To me, it is the only profession in the world worthy of your time, because the second you get hurt, the second something happens to your life, you are no longer employable, or you are no longer like a boss telling you what you're worth. All of a sudden now you're in a scramble. And so with network marketing, you never have to be in that scramble. What I build today, it's going to last a lifetime. As long as I'm out getting customers and people are loving my products, all of a sudden I'm always going to be creating my own economy. And that gets exciting. I'm not waiting for the phone call. That's never going to happen. I can't even hardly go into anywhere. When someone tells me I have to be somewhere, I'm like, wait, what happens if I physically can't make it? What happens if I physically can't drive there? What happens? And that's the big thing that I think many of us are facing today, is people are being told they are no longer needed. Keep me safe, you're needed. And you'll never get that phone call. So it's so exciting.
Well, you talk about how people are fearful and anxious about getting that phone call that you're no longer needed. Well, add on top of that, if you're using products that are causing anxiety and illness, now it's like doubly magnified. So for 1 cent, you can become an advocate and have your own, and you can watch, I think last week we talked about it, last month we talked about that, but also there's a different level where you get product as well that you can demo it. So what are the different levels, Kelli?
Okay. So right now, if times are super, super tight, come in for 1 cent, right? We have so many before and after testimonials. And we do ship out when people do come in for 1 cent, we do ship out a little goodie bag. You had to have samples. We want you to try our
product. Of course
product.
you do. I had no idea. Right? I was like, that's hardball.
Yes. So you're not going to leave empty handed. We do want safe products into people's homes. Then we have a $99 amazing body kit that really has everything that you need for the body and for the home and your skincare. And it's truly thebombdiggity.com. And so if that excites you, jump in for $99. We also have like a whole enchilada with makeup and skincare for $229. So truly, when you think about it, start a business, even at the highest price of $229, and that includes your website fee for an entire year. Our website fee is $8.95 a month. So if you decide to run with this as a business, all of a sudden you can't even find a website for $8.95. And we process all the credit card fees. We take care of all that for you. It is your online super center. And then for people that just want to be their own best customer, they don't have to have the website fee. And they just can kind of come in and really get their products at a discount and fall in love with us and really save on the budget. So there's all ways to win with Keep Me Safe. So we are excited to be a part of that big movement for everyone. So
I'd love for you to be a part of my team. So all you need to do is go to whenyouneedafriend.com, click onto the sponsors page or the shop now page, whichever one you'll get you there, and click on it. And where it says you want to join, become an advocate, just fill your information out, and I will get contacted and we'll start working together. There's so many different ways to create the abundance that you want, whether it's abundance of health or abundance of wealth. It is so important that you choose. Are you going to go towards what you want or away from what you want? So with that in mind, I hope that you guys join us on the 19th. So text me at 407-373-5959. Always, if you have any questions, you can text me there as well, or call and leave a message. There's so many ways that we can grow together. Another way is the Bible study has been so successful. And I want to encourage you to come. All the sessions are recorded, so you could either join us live or you can watch the recording. So look into that as well. We've got to return to what was given to us. We've got to return to nature, but not that natural wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm talking about real. And if you're tired of all the fake, phony baloney in your life, start looking at the products that you're putting on your skin. And these products, there were 3 requirements the first time I spoke to Rebecca. They have to be organic, they have to be affordable, and they have to be excellent. Mm-hmm. And all check. They all worked well. Like I have an event tonight, and I will probably not have time to do anything other than go. And I feel confident enough to say, I'm not going to worry about my makeup. That's one less thing. I get so much time back because I use Keep Me Safe Organics. So with that in mind, ladies, what final word before we go? Rebecca, you want to start?
I would just say, I want each and every one of you, if you're feeling like, you know, you're operating at a low point in your life right now, maybe you don't have the confidence to do it, but you want to make a change, but you don't really know how to make a change. Borrow somebody else's confidence, at least for a day, because they believe in you. I believe in you. Lillian believes in you, and Kelly believes in you. Every single one of you are worth it. We've all been through bad things. We've all overcome them. So if you're at a place today where you're just feeling a little low and you just don't have that confidence to make a decision, borrow somebody else's confidence for the day.
Yes. Well, all you need is 20 seconds. 20 seconds of courage to take the first step. I think I have 20 seconds of courage. Once you take that step, it makes the second step easier. So I agree. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that and everything that you do. And Kelly?
Yes. And I was going to say, maybe you just need a plan B in case the plan A falls through. Join us, have fun, create something to where if all of a sudden one day you do get a phone call, and it might not even be over the pandemic, it might be 2 years from now, all of a sudden something happens or you cannot physically go to work. Build something today that's going to be a legacy for your family tomorrow.
I love it. I love it. And even if you do not ever get that phone call, to choose this as your side hustle, this is really good deal.
Yes.
So with that in mind, guys, I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to September 19th when we do our makeover, where you're going to learn techniques that will make you even more radiant, more beautiful. And the good news is it's not going to add to any anxiety or fear. It's going to be a part of getting rid of all that toxicity in that tub that is called your body. So we will see